Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Unscaled Travel Show. I'm Jeremy Long, the Full Metal Traveler. So happy you've joined us today. We got a very interesting, very knowledge-filled show. We hope it helps you out. It's all about credit cards, travel credit cards in particular, the loyalty programs that they've offered. They go back a number of decades now. You know, if you're just maybe looking at them, or if you maybe got your first one, or just considering it, this is the show for you. We're going to talk later on to Dave Grossman, founder of yourbestcreditcards.com and also milestalk.com. The dude is a wealth of knowledge. He's going to help you pick out your first one if you want. This is not an advertisement for a credit card. Let me start that off. My co-explorer, Amy Long, joins me. She knows all about the dangers of credit card.
Oh, thanks.
More than once, we've had to take away that Sears card from you.
Oh, really? The Sears card.
Yeah. Are they still around?
No.
You know, you and your lawnmowers.
Hey, that lawnmower paid for a vacation.
It did. And that's one of the many perks of those travel rewards credit cards. You've seen them everywhere. Chase, Capital One, AMEX cards. I mean, just almost anyone in everyone's city, they have these travel cards. Which ones are the right ones for you? Which ones should you avoid? Yeah, we're going to kind of discuss the pros and cons of everything. And also, where do these things come from? And why are they so wildly popular? We've seen, especially over the last few years, you know, post-COVID, just the spending on credit cards is now at an all-time high, especially here in the United States, where we are at Las Vegas, beautiful Las Vegas, and the Diamondback Lancer Vane Studios. Make sure I put that in there. But these loyalty programs, you would think it seems like a newer concept, right? It seems like something that just kind of really exploded on the scene over the last 2 decades, 3 decades maybe. But you might be surprised to know that loyalty programs have been around for a very, very long time. And this is the part that I like, right? I dive into the history of things. I'm a wee bit of a nerd.
Wee bit.
I don't know if you know this.
I love it about you, though.
Thank you. It's all the way back to like the late 1700s, 1793. A United States merchant was giving out these Copper cannot speak. Copper, in case you didn't realize what I was saying. They were giving out these copper tokens that you could collect as a consumer. You collected so many of them, you could exchange those tokens for merchandise within that store. So, that was like one of the first examples of a loyalty program on record. So that's nothing new.
Well, I remember being a kid and at the grocery store, my mom, they would have these programs once a year. And when you bought certain things, you would get kind of this stamp card. And my mom would always go. And that is how we got our fancy dishes. Do you know what dishes I'm talking about? The whole red set and then the china. Yes. But they all came from the grocery store loyalty programs. And you would go every week and get your stamp so you could get whatever that dish was that week.
Those china stamps, those china dishes that you could never eat on.
Right.
You got them.
We've never eaten on them as far as I know.
Oh, that's for company.
They're in the display cabinet at my mom's house.
Whatever company that was for never made its way over to our house.
Oh, no.
Because we never touched
the queen never made it to my mom and dad's house. Actually, though, do you remember one Christmas before we moved to Las Vegas, we did use all the red dishes at Christmas. And that is the one time in my entire life.
Those dark red dishes.
The dark red dishes, the glassware. It's the one time they ever used.
Those look like a vampire made
They
them.
do.
Oh, okay.
They're really neat, though. But they came from a grocery store rewards program.
Well, so funny you mentioned the stamps. The first iteration of these trading stamps first popped on the scene in the 1890s.
Oh, wow.
The 1890s, a company called S&H Green Stamps. They were awarded to consumers for buying at participating merchants, grocery stores, filling stations, department stores. Would you believe that S&H now they're called Green Points. S&H Green Points, it still exists today, mostly online with online retailers. but it first popped up in the 1890s.
I mean, 150 years old.
Yeah.
And it's still around.
Still going.
Outlasted Sears.
I think, I know, Sears, all kinds of stuff. The Sizzler. But like credit cards, talking, focusing in on travel rewards.
Right.
The first airline to really modernize its rewards program and offer something like that was in 1981 by American Airlines.
Okay.
So we are talking a few decades now of specific like airline rewards cards and turning them and actually pairing up with credit cards. Mm-hmm. So you start seeing the evolution and the, how it started building to, try to grasp this, retain some type of loyalty from consumers.
Right.
You have so many options back then. Well, you want your most loyal customers. Hey, man, you frequent flyer here. We're going to reward you for being a frequent flyer.
Keep flying with us and we'll give you a discount.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And now it's turned into this huge, I know you're surprised. It's turned into this huge business to the point of the reward spend that the companies have actually paid out to consumers, whether it's cashback cards, frequent flyer redemptions, or anything like that. In 2022 was over $69 billion.
Wow.
$69 billion that they gave back.
In rewards.
The top 6 retailers. So you're talking Chase, Citi, Capital One, Amex, all these those companies. And they still made a profit of $30 billion on just these loyalty programs and reward
That's wild.
programs.
But that means $69 billion in travel that people got. Yeah. I won't say for free because they did something to earn those, but $69 billion in travel rewards in 1 year.
Absolutely.
I can't even wrap my head around that.
Chase itself, Chase Bank, especially here in the United States, has issued the most credit cards within the last couple of years. Almost 150 million travel credit cards.
Wow.
For this company. It's huge money. Mm-hmm. So you can see you've probably gotten some of the flyers.
Oh yeah.
In the mail. They're just like junk mail. You're just like, oh my God. And they're always offering like, hey, here's a sign up offer, 40,000 miles, 50,000 miles. They're all just trying to fight over your business because it is such big business. When you go to the grocery store now, interesting facts, 84% of the adults in the United States have a credit card, which is probably not a surprise to those of us who live here, much less to the folks that are listening to this outside of the United States. But also 71% of those people have some sort of credit card that offers a reward of some type. Cash back, airline rewards, hotel rewards, savings on groceries or fuel or something like that. So it is this huge ordeal that now credit cards are used to almost make 30% of our total payments on things, which has gone up astronomically in the last couple of decades.
But it's like if you're going to use the credit card, you might as well get the rewards for it, right?
That's the thinking.
Yeah.
But it's also this part of almost like gamification of like, complete the circle kind of thing. If you've ever been to a Starbucks or anything, you can collect Starbucks rewards. And, you get these stars, Starbucks stars, and you can redeem them for free drinks and things like that. But it might shock you how much free stuff that we leave on the table. That goes right along with our paid time off and things like that Americans just don't use. It's almost like we're addicted to the gaming.
Well, I think we're going to talk about that in a little bit, how there are so many rewards that people are not taking advantage of.
Yeah, you're going to hear more about that sad statistic and more in this very fun episode of the Unscaled Travel Show. Keep it right here.
Unscaled Travel Show is brought to you by Diamondback Land Surveying. For all your land surveying needs, contact Diamondback Land Surveying at 702-823-DBLS.
Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the Unscaled Travel Show. I'm Jeremy Long, the Full Metal Traveler, coming to you from the Diamondback Land Surveying Studios in beautiful Las Vegas, Nevada. Here with my co-explorer, Amy Long.
Hello.
We are talking about travel, credit cards, the loyalty programs, the pros and cons of it all. We gave you a little history on some of these. We gave you a little facts and some astonishing figures. But now it's kind of, we turn it to what we've done this. We've had travel credit cards for actually
not that long.
Not that
really.
long.
No.
For maybe 7 or 8 years.
You were the one that was saying like a decade ago, we need to get a travel rewards card. And I didn't see the point, honestly. And then, I don't know, late 2016, 2017, we got our first one. And once you just start seeing those points add up and add up and add up, then it kind of goes back to what you were talking about the gamification aspect of it. Because it's like, oh, how many points do I have on my card now? And how many room nights would that get at a hotel? Or what flight would that get me on a certain airline? And it does become a little bit of, I don't know, I don't want to say a game, but just like this rush. Yeah. Like, oh, I have 200,000 points. How many nights can I get in Hawaii with that?
Yeah. It does become a dangerous game, which if you have any kind of debt trouble or you're just, for a fact you're not responsible, rule number one is don't get a card.
Right.
Don't get one. Okay. This episode is not about glorifying travel credit cards. It's just kind of explaining it.
Yeah.
For those who might be interested or first-time users or anything like that. And then in a little bit, we're going to talk to Dave Grossman, who is the founder of yourbestcreditcards.com and also milestalk.com. He literally wrote the book on how to maximize these benefits, and that's what it's about, maximizing and getting the most out of it, because here's that figure I told you we were going to tell you. 69% of users who have earned some type of reward on their credit card just let it sit. They go unused. We're talking cashback points of various kinds, or miles of various kinds for different airlines or whatever. 69% of us have points. I mean, we have points right now, but we have an end game on our point usage. But people just never use them. Right. And I think, it's wild to think about like Americans and how we look and see like holiday time and like paid time off, vacation time, whatever you want to call it, how many unused vacation days, and it's somewhere in the 700 million range. Americans leave 700 million paid days off on the table every single year. Right. They don't take them, I was that guy at the office trying to steal other people's. I was like, I was that guy like, please donate to me.
Well, I usually do lose vacation time every year just because when you work certain types of jobs, it's not always convenient to take off. Because you have to end up setting up for someone to either take over for you while you're gone, or you just take off a week and then you come back and you have all of last week's work to do plus all of this week's work to do. Yeah. So I do usually end up leaving some.
Meanwhile, our friends overseas are like, hey, we take September
off
thing. And, we'll see you
It's
next
a culture thing. But saying that, I kind of feel like the younger generations in the U.S. are taking advantage more of time off.
Good. And they should.
They should.
Don't leave that stuff on the table. Spend your points is right. And
is
what I'm getting at.
And even going back to what you're saying, if you're somebody that does not want debt or you feel like you're not responsible with the credit card, there are other loyalty programs you can get to hotel chains or airlines, things that don't actually cost you anything, but you're just signing up to kind of say, this is my preferred brand. And every time you purchase with that brand, you're building a little bit of status there. So there are other loyalty programs you can participate in if you don't want to go the credit card loyalty route.
One good example is one that we are evangelists about, and it's the Marriott Bonvoy.
Right.
Now, there are pros and cons to Marriott Bonvoy. I know sometimes online it gets a lot of hate for various reasons. But look, it's convenient for us. We both signed up before we had credit cards. Mm-hmm. Actually, you signed up before we had any credit cards with Marriott Bonvoy. And it's something that's free. And if you frequent Marriott hotels or any of their brands underneath the Marriott umbrella, it makes sense.
Yeah.
If you travel a lot.
Yeah.
And some real life examples of that is that a few years ago, I think in 2020, early part of 2020, because it was right before the pandemic, we went to Paris.
Yeah.
And a large portion of our stays were completely covered.
Yeah. I think we covered all of our hotel nights except one, and we were there for 7 days, 8 days, maybe. So all of the nights were covered through points we had earned, either through the loyalty program, staying there other nights, or through a credit card that we were able to earn Marriott Bonvoy points on.
Yeah.
So we do have a Marriott Bonvoy specific credit card. So for every purchase, we earn points with that program. But we also have other cards that the points are transferable.
Yeah.
And we were able to transfer and pay for hotels for that whole trip in Paris. Even the trip we just took last year to Japan, between you and I, we covered, I think, every single night with our points.
Every single night on a Marriott property was covered under points that, and here's the thing. I know the logical thinking is, why don't you just pay for the room? Because, you're actually spending more to get points.
Right.
It's more about if you're going to spend the money, if you're going to use the credit card, and it's part of your budgeting plans and things like one of yours is attached to a business, one of mine is attached to a business. So we're going to spend that money anyway. You might as well collect the rewards and reward yourself later on. And it does take a certain amount of points. That was a lot of points that we spent.
Yeah.
But 4 people in Japan for
10 days.
10 days, and all of our nights were covered.
Yeah.
That's a significant cost. The same went for when we went to Cabo in Mexico. And the room, we were there for 4 or 5 days, and the hotel was completely covered.
And the thing about being a member of the rewards program, like with a specific hotel line or airline, is because you're loyal, you have a loyalty to them. They can see you build a status, and with that status, you also get perks and upgrades and things like that. It is to the point where it's rare if we stay at a Marriott and we don't get a room upgrade now, because we do stay there so often throughout the year. And it does take a little bit of time to build that up.
Yeah.
But now it's to that point where we know when we check in, we're almost always going to get an upgrade. We're always going to get a nice view. We are always going to be greeted and given the bonus points just for checking in, because we are a loyalty member.
And different properties offer different things. You mentioned the bonus points, which most of them offer. They'll just give you points for showing up and staying loyal. And then there's other things. We've had bottles of champagne delivered, and little,
fruit
chocolates and fruit baskets
plates
and
of snacks,
all kinds of stuff. So it does pay. Okay. But to round this out, again, we're not advertising for one way or another, but to round this out and want some great information, we've called in a professional, Dave Grossman. I'm going to talk to him next. He's the founder of yourbestcreditcards.com. He's got a lot of good information, so you want to stick around for this, right? It's the Unscaled Travel Show.
Unscaled Travel Show is brought to you by Diamondback Land Surveying. For all your land surveying needs, contact Diamondback Land Surveying at 702-823-DBLS.
Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the Unscaled Travel Show. I'm Jeremy Long, your host, the Full Metal Traveler. Thank you for joining us. Hey, is that a new shirt? I like your shirt, man. Oh, man. Did your wife pick that out for you? Looks kind of stripedy. You know what? We have been talking all episode about you guys that are just getting into the travel credit card game. You got a lot of questions. Some of you have been writing in, asking for my favorite picks. And you know what? I'm like, let me defer here, because I do use miles. I do have travel credit cards, travel reward cards, but I'm in no way, shape, or form an expert. So I thought I'd reach out to a guy that is the expert in travel credit cards. And in fact, he wrote a book about it. Our guest today has spent the last 20 years traveling the world in first class and in business class, using his miles and points and paying only the taxes and fees that are attached to it. He's been featured in the Wall Street Journal, USA Today, Condé Nast, so many publications out there. Mr. Dave Grossman is the founder of milestalk.com and yourbestcreditcards.com. And in fact, he has that book called Miles Talk itself. Dave, thank you so much for joining us today.
It is my pleasure. Thanks for having me on.
Well, we have been chatting, Dave, about, newer people getting into this credit card game, which can be such a rewarding experience, but it's also kind of this slippery slope with credit cards and debt and things of this nature. So, right off the bat, for those who are looking at getting into travel rewards cards, hotel cards, all the things that are offered now, what are some of the things they should look out for before considering and before applying to rewards cards?
The first thing that I want people to think about is there is a big tendency to go and get a co-branded credit card with an airline or a hotel that you are loyal to. So if you fly United all the time, it's very tempting. You just go and get like the United Explorer card. That's their, sort of low end $95 annual fee card. It waives check bags fees, all well and good. But then they put all their spend on that one card. And the big problem with that is they're limited to United's frequent flyer program. So what you want is a transferable points card. And some examples of that are Chase Ultimate Rewards cards. Most people have heard of the Chase Sapphire Preferred or the Chase Sapphire Reserve. Amex membership rewards, so Amex Platinum, Amex Gold. City's got their own program, thank you. So the whole point of earning transferable points is that you get lots of options with them. And to give a quick example of that, if you have a Chase Sapphire Preferred card, which only has a $95 annual fee, those points can be transferred to United, but they can also be transferred to Hyatt and about 14 other programs. So let's say you can't get a good flight through United, but you can get a good flight through British Airways. You can transfer Chase points to British Airways instead of to United. Or if you find a great deal on hotel, and we talk about there's some luxurious Hyatt hotels that you can book on points for what's really crazy cheap when you compare points against cash. And again, you can transfer your Chase points to Hyatt. The second thing is bonus offers. So when you sign up for a new card, you want to be getting a nice bonus offer. And these are, everyone's seeing these. Spend, for example, $4,000 within 3 months and get 60,000 or 80,000 bonus points.
Right.
And those bonus points can be worth $1,000, over $1,000. And so if you think about it that way, your return on spend for that $4,000 is tremendous, right? You get like a 25% return on spend. So while you're finding a range of cards that are good for you, and that's, we're talking about features, benefits, and bonus categories, like 4 times on groceries or 3 times on dining, that kind of thing, you're collecting these bonus offers along the way, and they really start to stack up. So that's number 2. And then number 3 is taking stock of what you spend on. So you want to make sure that if you've got a big family and you're spending $500 a week at the grocery store, make sure you have a card that gives you a nice multiplier on groceries, because that's going to really, 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 really add up. So those are like rules 1, 2, and 3 for getting a card. I'm sure we'll get a little bit more into how to use those points later, but let's start there, right? Right. Get a card that's flexible, get a card that works for you, and get a card that has benefits that you need.
So now we're into the nitty gritty. Now I want...
Let's go.
Overall, hey, I know this is where the real journalism begins. Overall, your pick for best hotel card, best airline card, if anyone's going to apply.
So you want me to skip all the transferable points cards and give you best hotel and airline specific? Is that what you're saying?
No, you're the expert. You lead us where we need to go. What's the most important?
All right. So for I'll give you 3 answers to this.
Sure.
Okay. The first is, I think that if your listeners are really brand new to rewards, and I've mentioned this card like 4 times now, and I swear I don't work for Chase, but the Chase Sapphire Preferred is a really good starter card. And like, I've got a whole article on why I think it's the best starter card, and it's not because it's the best card on the market, right? But it is the simplest card with solid rewards that are transferable to good programs and is simple to use with decent bonus categories, and it always has a good sign-up bonus. So I recommend that one because they can sort of get a nice bonus. They're getting 3 times on dining, 2 times on travel. So that's my favorite all-around beginner card. Best hotel card is the Hilton Aspire card. The Hilton Aspire card, which just raised its annual fee to, I believe, $550, and it sounds like so much, but if you ever stay at Hilton, the benefits that they give you for that $550, there are so many people that don't want to pay an annual fee on a credit card and they refuse to actually do the math to find out what they could get for that annual fee. And a lot of times it's kind of like prepaying for more benefits than you're paying for, right? So that Hilton Aspire card, which used to have more benefits for a lower annual fee, but it's still amazing. For airline, look, I'm not saying to not get airline cards. They definitely have their place. If you fly an airline all the time, it is worth getting the top version of that airline's card that comes with airport lounge access, because it's always going to be cheaper, believe it or not, than buying a membership to the airport lounge, right? So for example, the United Club Infinite card will cost you less than buying a United Club membership, and you get the benefits of the card on top of that. And for a normal person, if you fly, let's call it, 3 to 6 times a year, you don't have any status on the airline, you're never going to have status on the airline, but you do check bags, then it's definitely worth getting that airline's credit card to get free check bags.
You mentioned Chase Sapphire a number of times. Would that also be for the young traveler as well, that maybe just starting to look at it and starting to get enamored with the whole miles travel? Your same pick would be Chase Sapphire.
It would be. And then, you know what, if they start getting more into it, they can easily just upgrade to the Sapphire Reserve, which will then include access to the airport lounges. And I'll even just say Chase has started building out their own lounge network. Mm-hmm. And for the most part, you need to have a premium Chase card to get consistent access to that club. I just was at the one that opened up in LaGuardia, and it is absolutely to die for.
Well, this is an entire universe, and you can get lost in this stuff for hours. And in fact, Dave Grossman has made his entire life about miles, and his, you've mentioned so many times that you dig this stuff, man, and you dive down deep into it. So if people want to check it out, if they want to follow along, and you mentioned a free ebook earlier, how do they get started in your world?
Follow me on Instagram or Twitter at Miles Talk, and I'm super friendly too. So if you want to just send me a DM and ask me a question that you're embarrassed to ask in public, go for it.
You heard it here, folks. Pepper Dave Grossman with all kinds of questions, whether it's about credit cards or lounges or whatever.
I'm never going to be able to sleep again. I'm just going to be responding.
Any questions about Vegas, burritos, Nacho Gate, anything, Dave has the answers for it. Dave, thank you so much for your time, man. We appreciate it. Can't wait to talk to you again down the road.
Pleasure. Talk to you soon.
Keep it right here, folks. It's the Unscaled Travel Show. We're going to have more after the break.
Unscaled Travel Show is brought to you by Diamondback Land Surveying. For all your land surveying needs, contact Diamondback Land Surveying at 702-823-DBLS.
Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the Unscaled Travel Show. It's Jeremy Long, the Full Metal Traveler. Visit us online, fullmetaltraveler.com, for all of our past episodes, interviews, all that good looking stuff. We're coming to you from the Diamondback Land Surveying Studios in beautiful Las Vegas,
Woo.
Nevada. If you don't know where that is, look at a map. It's purple. With my co-explorer, Amy Long, we're talking to you about travel rewards, travel credit cards, and bonuses. Great interview right there with Dave Grossman from milestalk.com and yourbestcreditcards.com. A lot of great information. You can get a free ebook if you find their Facebook group and join their Facebook group. He even wrote the book on it, Miles Talk. Guy's been doing it for 20 years, and he don't fly anywhere unless it's first class or business class, and it's points. And he shares there's no fees hidden anywhere. There's not like that Grant Cardone thing, like, hey, like buy the next book and I'll really give you the answers. He gives
calling people out.
Hey man, Grant Cardone's snake oil salesman, man, in my opinion, which is protected.
Don't you have a couple of his books?
I do. Gonna get sued. That is not in the loyalty program. But we're talking to you now about maximizing your benefits of your loyalty programs, your loyalty credit cards. And you heard some of the great information that Dave gave us. And we really want to kind of back all of that up, talking about finding a card. If you are going to get a travel rewards credit card, finding a credit card that is the points are transferable, that doesn't keep you locked into one brand or another brand, things of that nature. So we're just going to reinforce that. But, real quickly, looking back at the pros and cons, you mentioned some in the last segment, talking about how you can enjoy elite status and all kinds of upgrade possibilities, like we enjoy with Marriott Bonvoy.
Yeah.
And I think I do have one through Hilton Honors, but it's a newer program.
But saying that, you have a Delta.
I do have a Delta Airlines.
And with that, you get a companion pass. So I have flown for free with you a few times because of that. So we're basically getting a free airline ticket. And I say free, meaning we're not paying for it at the time, because you have this loyalty program, you have the status, and you have these other points that you're getting off of a credit card that all funnel into this loyalty program with Delta.
Yeah. So you have these statuses, you have these upgrade possibilities. For airline travel, you get things like complimentary checked bags, lounge access. And some of these lounges are becoming just crazy beautiful and just... I recently introduced you to the lounge life, and now can you go back?
I know. I always thought it was kind of a ridiculous perk. I mean, this kind of goes back to that, what was it, 69% of travel perks aren't used.
Yeah.
That was one I always thought, it's not necessary. Whatever. You're sitting in the airport. Why go sit in another room when you can just sit with the masses? But now that I've sat in some of the lounges, that's where I want to be. Free food.
I can't go back.
Right. Clean bathrooms.
Clean bathrooms. And some of them offer clean showers.
Yeah.
Now, if you travel for a living, I see you taking advantage of that. But once you enter into that world, once the Pandora's box is open, you ain't no going back, man. I can't go down with the simpletons
And
anymore.
saying that not every lounge is the same.
No.
Some are nicer than others. Some of them do offer better quality food or nicer seating, but it's just a nicer way. If you have to be at the airport for a while waiting for your next flight, it's kind of a nicer way to pass the time. And like I said, it's free food. So you're not buying food in the air. You're not buying airport
alcohol
food.
too.
Right. And alcohol.
Yeah.
Exactly.
If that's what you like to engage in, adult beverages on your trips or anything like that, oftentimes, basic alcohols, they offer for free. And then you can tie it into like your ride share, your transportations, like your citywide transportation or fuel and grocery stores. Some of the drawbacks. Okay, number one, debt is a slippery slope.
Right.
If you do not have a good handle on your debt, or that you overspend sometimes, I would stay away from credit cards as much as humanly possible. I know they're kind of ingrained in our everyday lives now and getting more and more so, but I would stay away. That is my plea to you. Don't take this as an endorsement. Take this as a warning. Debt can consume your life, and
Right. I think you have to kind of look at the interest rate versus the reward. What's greater here?
Yeah.
If the reward is not better than the interest rate and the balance that you're paying, then this may not be the right way for you to earn rewards points.
So you talk about those high interest rates, which travel cards do come with a higher interest rate. Hey, they got to make money. And you heard that it's big business. We gave you those facts and figures earlier, but those hefty annual fees.
Right.
And sometimes the high credit ratings you need to actually get the card can keep them out of reach of many people who just don't have it. It's just not in the cards, and it's kind of unfair.
I think talking about that, though, there are different levels to travel cards. And I know, for instance, I used to have the AMEX Platinum card. it has a very high annual fee, but it has so many rewards. I didn't even know all the rewards it had, but it got to where we realized what we were paying in the annual fee, we weren't utilizing an equivalent amount of rewards. So I backed down to a lower level reward card. I still get rewards, but the fee is a small percentage. I don't have all the same rewards I used to, but I still get those reward points that are transferable, and I can send them to other airlines or hotels, and it works for us. So it's finding the right card for you too.
Here are 7 quick tips, kind of piggybacking off of our interview with Dave Grossman about how to maximize the benefits of your card. 7, there's plenty more out there. You can do a little research, okay? But here's the 7 I would start with. Number 1, start with a travel end game in mind. What do you want from your travel card? Where do you want to go? What's that travel goal? Set your plan that way. Always plan ahead. Don't just sign up for one on a whim. Okay, they oftentimes have them in the airport terminals.
Yeah,
they're like, "Hey, come sign up for a card." Don't just do that. Okay, think about where you want to go. An airline branded card or hotel card can limit you to a particular chain. Find transferable point options such as like a Chase Unlimited Rewards or the American Express membership rewards, or you can match your reward structure to your spending habits. I think that's probably a good point of view too. If you don't, don't sign up for a high-end credit card if your job is unstable, or if you only have $200 in the bank, don't do it. Okay?
Right.
That's just be smart.
Or don't sign up for a regional airline if you want to do more international travel.
There you go. Have that plan in mind. Really think things through. Number 2, use those everyday bonus categories you have. Activate those bonus enhancers, meaning everyday bonus categories for like some people on the Amex card can be 5 times miles when you make an airline ticket purchase on that credit card. So if you have to, like, I got to go see grandma or something like that, use that credit card to give you 5 times miles so you can really up your how close you get to the next free ticket that you can cash in and get. Some of them offer 3 times miles on groceries, different things like that. So really take advantage of those bonus categories. Number 3, get those sign up bonuses.
Right.
Okay. If they're offering you 80,000 bonus miles, make sure you hit the amount you need to get those 80,000 bonus miles. Don't leave those out there. It's basically free travel.
But read the fine print.
Before
you apply for that card, read the fine print, because to get that 80,000 could be just make one purchase of any amount. It could be make $5,000 worth of purchases in the first 30 days. Every card's different.
That was point 6, but we'll move that to point 4.
Sorry.
Read the fine print. Read the fine print.
I'm not reading the fine print, I guess.
Read this fine print, Amy. Number 5, explore your redemption options. Oftentimes, a travel card will have bonus options when transferring miles. For example, Amex, you can trade your miles to like KLM and different organizations, or like Japan Airlines. Sometimes they'll offer a redemption period where 1,000 of your miles will equal 2,000 miles on Japan Airlines.
Right.
So look out for those bonus periods, and you can really maximize those miles that you're trading in.
Yeah.
And like you said earlier, number 6, I think, take advantage of all of your credit card perks. There are a lot of perks out there, like when you are renting a car, you get car insurance. If you're paying for anything, there's different type of travel insurances, and use them to the best of your ability.
All your lounge accesses.
All of your lounge accesses. Read your fine print. That was the one that was already mentioned there. Thank you. And always, if none of this makes sense to you, you're not good with money, don't do it.
Right.
Don't get a card. That is my number 1 thing, but it's actually number 7 on this list. If none of this makes sense to you, don't get a credit card. Thank you so much to Dave Grossman. Thank you, Amy, and everyone here at the studios, Diamondback Landscaping Studios. We'll see you guys next time.